What's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Abwon, and this is another edition of Before You Watch, spoiler-free reviews. Stop asking me, are there spoilers? I don't want to watch it because you might spoil it. They're all spoiler-free. I say this in the beginning of every video. They're all spoiler-free. That's just what it is. Spoiler-free reviews. Come on now. Make sure you hit that notification bell when you subscribe so that way you know when I got new content coming out. As you can see, I'm putting out like 2 videos a week or so, and they're instant premiere so you guys can communicate with each other while the video is playing. My last review is for the Candyman. Make sure you go check that out. This time it's for Shang. It's I think it's the first movie to kick off the next phase of Marvel. You know, they had WandaVision, Loki, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Shang-Chi is the first film. And a couple people, not even a couple, a lot of people told me, I don't know anything about this guy. What is it with him? What's his power? You know, they had a lot of questions. The MCU has a proven format of success. The visuals of this movie looked really good and intriguing, so I said I was gonna watch it. I mean, why wouldn't I watch it? That's just how the MCU is now. Like, you have to watch it because you want to keep up with the story. So, quick synopsis: Shang is the son of a gentleman that owns this godly artifact, the 10 Rings, and the woman that is imbued with power from the gods of something. I think like a forest or something like that. He is called upon to stop his father from doing something he should not be doing. The first thing that you will notice about this film is that it is very, very vibrant. It's very vibrant. The aesthetics are amazing. The movie looks great. Almost like how Wakanda is very purple and silver, and that's also very vibrant. This is also very vibrant. Aquafina is there. She's a popular comedian. She plays Shang's sidekick, and she is hilarious in this movie. I've always loved her sense of humor. She is hilarious in this film, but the one thing I did like about her is that most of the MCU films, when they have like a sidekick, they're just there for comedic relief and they really don't play a part in the MCU universe. Like, if you look at Ant-Man, his partners in crime are just like for his movies. They don't really do too much for the overall MCU plot line. I feel like she's got a major come up because her character has done some great things in the Shang-Chi movie alone, and I feel like they're priming her to become a major player in the MCU down the line. I could be wrong. They could pull a Terrence Howard on her. You'll never know. But after this movie, that's honestly just how I feel. Shang as a character, I'll say this. A lot of the MCU leading guys outside of Captain America, they all kind of have the same personality. They're witty, they're charming, they hit you with like quick one-liners, they're kind of sarcastic here and there. Shang is really no different. Almost on line with like Doctor Strange with the wittiness, but not as serious, because Doctor Strange can be like a piece of cardboard sometimes. As a leading role though, I really just don't feel like he can control the screen. The one thing I did like about Shang-Chi was that the ensemble was great. Everybody did well together. Him alone did not do it for me. But that's not his fault, because I honestly feel the same way about Captain America. When it's just him on the screen, or it's just him in a movie it's just him, I really don't like him. But when he's around other characters, I feel like he really shines. In terms of a hero though, Shang-Chi is undoubtedly, like, he's dope. You know, the Captain America's shield, to me, if I were a superhero, I would want that weapon. I really don't like Thor's hammer, but those 10 rings, man, those 10 rings, you could do a lot of creative stuff with them. So the 10 rings give you the strength of a god and you're immortal, but they can do so much. You can use them as like a barrier. You can fly with them. That just adds to another degree to this film. The choreography is amazing. They had this fight scene on the side of a building on these rafters, and not only was the cinematography dope because they're like doing all of this parkour and all of this stuff, like flipping through the bamboo and things like that, but the actual choreography is dope. It's high octane. It's a lot of action. It's very fast paced. It's very thrilling. The storyline is easy to follow. There are some Easter eggs for a couple other Marvel films, not too much. Maybe there's more that I missed. A couple characters from other Marvel movies do make a return back to this one, so that's dope to see, because I feel like those characters were forgettable, but in this movie they're sort of memorable. There are Easter egg credit scenes. There's 2 of them. There's one at the very end of the credits, and there's one, after a minute or so of the credits. Here's the thing. To me, a lot of origin superhero films aren't very good. I feel like they're slow because they take too much time to develop the character. Shang-Chi, to me, is one of the best origin Marvel films. I saw something online and it said that Shang-Chi has some of the best action this decade or something like that. I would not agree with that. We got movies like The Raid and Ong Bak and Ip Man out here. Shang-Chi just does not compare. However, that's not to say that the action is not good. It's very good. But when it comes to an MCU film, Shang-Chi is top. Like, it's up there, especially with an origin film. It's top. I mean, it's up there with like Civil War and the Blade films. One of my Facebook friends said Shang-Chi is top 3 Marvel movie. If we're talking about Marvel as a whole, I would not agree with that, because the X-Men movies are really good. But if we're talking about the MCU movies, I would hands down agree with it. I was trying to think about what other origin films there were that was better than this, and there's not a lot, to be honest with you. There's not a lot. I think Shang-Chi is the best MCU origin movie. It really is, hands down best. The story moves great. The pacing is great. It's easy to follow. The character development is there, and the action hands down is there. Now, this movie is not without its flaws. The one thing I did not like is I told you that the 10 rings makes you immortal, right? Okay, cool. His father in the movie decides to, quote unquote, retire the 10 rings for 7 years. I'm not going to tell you why. His father does not age. His father does not age a day. So that right there, I noticed with that. There's another scene with some inconsistencies. They go to visit a character. They're talking to him, and you see their reflection in the mirror. The reflection is not always aligned properly. One scene, their reflections to the left. Another scene, their reflections in the middle. Another scene, their reflections on the right. But they're not moving in that scene. That's one thing I noticed. Also, they do not tell you, outside of the rings give you strength of a god and they make you immortal, they don't really speak much about the powers of those rings. And Shang-Chi, I guess, without those rings is just a regular guy. But before he gets a hold of those 10 rings, he's almost really godlike. Now, a lot of that comes from his mother, but that's another issue I have with the movie. They don't elaborate anything on his mom's powers at all. She says she's imbued with the power of the gods, but what is that exactly? When you watch the movie, you may think she's like an airbender, but nobody really knows. They don't really speak too much about it. The movie is just a must watch. Honestly, after I watched it, I wanted to go back to the theaters and watch it again. It's just that good. I'm gonna watch it again at some point. I'm gonna watch it when it comes on Disney Plus. I'm definitely recommending this to everybody. If this is how Marvel is moving for their next phase, the Eternals better be good. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna give Shang-Chi a 9.3 out of 10. Definitely a watch. I'm definitely gonna recommend it to everybody. And the biggest thing I can say is, even if you have not seen the TV shows or some other Marvel movies and you watch this, you're still going to be able to pick it up and move forward with it, because as much as they do have components from the other films in this movie, it's not like, oh well, it's a direct sequel to something else. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you subscribe. I got another review coming very, very soon for y'all. And yeah, Marvel is where it's at. Yo, I'm out of here. Peace.